Notre Dame scored 21 points in the first quarter. They led for about 50 minutes a game, and they were up by double digits for almost half of it. Notre Dame gets their third win in a row, 31-24 over the Louisville Cardinals, handing the Cardinals their first loss. Notre Dame moves to 4-1. Notre Dame was in control of this game. Riley Leonard was playing his best football of the year in the first half, probably for about a quarter and a half. He went down hard on the ground. Steve Angeli came in for a play, and Notre Dame's offense, their offensive approach changed from there. Louisville, Jeff Brom is a really, really creative play caller and really creative coach. So Louisville came back. They made it close. They had an opportunity to score late, but Notre Dame's defense really put the hammer down in the second half.
Yeah, the first half was worrisome because 9 explosive plays against the Irish defense in the first half. That is not something you see. There's only 3 in the second half, and one was one of the best catches of the season. That was an explosive play, but that's an athlete making a play. You mentioned the Notre Dame leading for that long. I think it's because everything stopped happening. After 24 game minutes were played, there were 5 turnovers in the first 24 minutes. And Notre Dame raced out. Mitch Jeter kicked the field goal when they were hoping to drive down for a touchdown. At that point, from that point on, Notre Dame went 26 minutes without a third down conversion. There was 38 minutes without a touchdown for the Irish. One really good drive at the end to finish it off, but you wondered what happened with the offensive approach. And I know before we get into it, we're going to talk about this a lot. They're getting their butts kicked up front, but something still changed in the offensive approach.
There's no question. You and I said it walking over to record this video. It was almost like they reverted back to Northern Illinois the instant that Riley Leonard had to leave the game. Now, he told us post-game he just got the wind knocked out of him. He said he was not injured or not hurt, but he also said when I asked him about how he makes sure they carry this forward, he goes, well, the first thing I'm going to do is heal up my body. Yeah. And along with some fishing and golf, good for him.
Marcus Freeman talked about how tough he was, too. It was more than getting your wind knocked out.
You can do that after you get a win. We talked about it. They still have issues, but on a day that we saw Ole Miss lose badly at home, Auburn continues to underwhelm. USC trailed for the longest time against Wisconsin at home. Notre Dame found a way to win. I give Marcus Freeman and this staff credit. I don't mask their issues, and they are substantial, but you have to have a lot of belief in your locker room to go 38-plus minutes without a touchdown and see Louisville gashing you and ultimately winning all the statistical categories but finding a way to win on the scoreboard.
Notre Dame absorbed a whole bunch of injuries today. We thought Gray would play at cornerback today. He did not. Jack Kaiser went out. We have to be concerned about Boubacar Traore with a knee injury. Benjamin Morrison left the field for a while, and of course all of this it was precipitated partly by Jaden Mickey deciding to redshirt and exit the team. So I mean it was a war out there. Louisville had guys going down. There were falling bodies right and left. But I want to emphasize again just how tough Riley Leonard is, and he ended up being 17 for 23, 163 yards. He threw touchdown passes to Jeremiah Love and Jaden Greathouse. He ran 13 times for 52 yards. It wasn't that he didn't run anymore after whatever the injury was or getting the wind knocked out of him. They picked their spots with it and converted a couple, third or fourth down plays. I was a little bit perplexed by the decision up 10 to go for 4th and 3 as opposed to punting there. I know you have faith in your defense, but you'll have even more faith in your defense if Louisville has to go 85 yards to score.
And I think the 4th and 2.5, 3 was quite obviously going to be a run by Riley Leonard. They were not able to do anything else for the previous 25 minutes. Louisville knew it. Louisville crashed the line. He occasionally gets a little high on those. It happened against Texas A&M too. It looked like he was easily going to get that first down, and then all of a sudden he was driven back. He never got there that time. So I disagreed with going for it there. They actually held Louisville to a field goal, but they were down 10. They held them to a field goal because they put them in field goal position. So I think the way Marcus Freeman and Mike Denbrock called the game dictated punting right there.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think part of Riley getting high a little bit on some of those plays is because he's had success. He's trying to follow his blockers, and he's not content, for better or worse, because he's such a hell of a competitor. He's not content trying to just get 2 or 3 yards. He's trying to read, even as the play is unfolding. You can see him, can I cut this back at the second level and turn it into a chunk play? But to your point, not only did the offense change, and he ended up doing some more running as the game wore on, they didn't run him again in the first half after he got dinged up like that.
Tyler Shuck is a handful if you don't put pressure on him. And Notre Dame, they ended up sacking him 3 times, and they knocked him around pretty good as well. He finished 24-41, 264 yards, finally threw an interception. Xavier Watts wanted more than one. He thought that he had a chance there at the end. You could see him
I was a
pounding
little worried
the
about
ground.
interference on that last play. Not on
Yeah.
Xavier Watts, but on was it Jordan Clark?
Yeah,
Yes.
he had his hands on him. There's no doubt about that. That would have extended the game. But Shuck threw 3 touchdown passes, and they're formidable. The Colin Lacey grab was just
a lot of catch.
absolutely ridiculous. But again, the defense, and it always seems like Notre Dame is getting gashed in the running game, and Louisville ended up with 35 carries for 131 yards, under 4 yards per carry.
Did they have 100 yards at the half as well?
I think they
had
were
102
right
yards at the
yeah.
half. Well, it makes sense because that's what they were getting gashed the most. It had to be frustrating, probably even for Al Golden. There was too much in that first half because the oddity was you mentioned Louisville only had one really nice scoring drive. They had 2 short field touchdowns, but they also had the statistical advantage. Yet they trailed. Part of it was Louisville in the first half on first down averaged 9.86 yards per play on first down. That's insane. In the second half, it was totally shut down by Notre Dame.
And real quickly on Shuck, the interception was significant, obviously, and Watts made a great play. His biggest turnover was the fumble after he ran 46 yards on a keeper and it flipped the field, and Louisville already had struck early thanks to the turnover on Notre Dame's opening kickoff possession. And so that, to me, is what really helped catalyze the game. I thought Louisville pressed. They ended up settling down, but they pressed a little bit over the ensuing moments of the game, and that's why Notre Dame was able to score 21 points 12 minutes into the game.
Logan Thomas had a highlight play that was negated. When you look at the replay, Shuck's hand was coming forward. There's no doubt about that, but it's a shame because it was a great defensive play and would have been a great opportunity for us to talk to Logan Thomas after the game. I'm sure they would have brought him in. But Louisville had 395 yards. Notre Dame only had 280. Here's where the disparity really showed in the second half was that Louisville had ran 76 plays. Notre Dame only had 54. Look, bottom line is Notre Dame won this game, and we went into
they
this
absolutely had to not lose the game.
I mean, that's the only thing that matters right now, especially with a bye week coming up. The only thing that matters is Notre Dame found a way to win. It was just you wanted to see Riley Leonard was playing so well that you wanted to see that continue. And whatever the reason is for them changing the offense, they clearly did. But they were good enough to hold on. The defense played better in the second half, and Notre Dame is now 4-1 going into a bye week. With the 31-24 victory over Louisville. This has been Irish Illustrated's Instant Analysis, brought to you by RVMH Hall of Fame in Elkhart, Indiana. Thanks for joining us, and check us out on Irish Illustrated Overtime.